Evening and welcome to a very warm Indodrill Stadium. It is Costa del Clackmannanshire here in Alloa as they take on Ross County in the Premier Sports Cup Group C. I am Kieran Mooney and I am joined as ever by Lewis. Lewis, how are we feeling apart from absolutely roasting?
I feel fine, but our database earlier it obviously melted, so we've moved to Belgium. And that's it. We've got as varied a server as Ross County's team all over the shop.
Yeah, I've been pen and pad working out plenty of new faces for Ross County fans. They don't really follow the traditional rules of the merry-go-round of Scottish football, so there's plenty of interesting names to kick-start us. But let's look at Alloa. We were up at Buckie Thistle on Saturday afternoon. We got a convincing 4-1 victory. How did you assess that game?
Well, I don't think we played at our best, but we certainly made it through with a convincing scoreline. Connor Salmon turning into a striker. He's just 2 goals off his goal tally for last season, so what a man.
He starts again this evening as Alloa are led out once more by Andy Graham. The interesting change for Alloa would be Paul McLaren coming in for his first senior start. Out goes Cammy O'Donnell, so it'll be interesting to see how the youngster gets on against Premiership opposition. This team is glittered with quality, our visitors today, but the man up top, Jordan White, has been a thorn in many Alloa sides in the past, and no doubt he'll be a handful again tonight.
A player that almost signed for Alloa, by the way, because Jim Goodwin, was it Jim Goodwin? I forget which year it was, but anyway, when Motherwell would try to punt him, he almost came on loan to Alloa.
It would have definitely been an interesting signing, one that I probably would have welcomed with open arms. He comes up against us tonight. He does love a goal against us ever since his days with Stirling Albion. But we get this game kicked off. It is 5 points apiece for the two sides.
Just picking out Alloa players again, Murray Miller had an excellent game up in Buckie. I enjoyed his performance. Diminutive
music.
We've still got the music playing. Okay, I forget that.
I think it'd be much more interesting to watch Scottish lower league football with some rave Calvin Harris. Ross County are getting right involved.
I'm going to make it a nightmare for whoever does the highlights for Ross County. I'll cut it out for mine. But DMCA will be coming.
That's good strength there from Connor Salmon. The flick on doesn't quite come off though. Yeah, going back to your point before we kind of stop there, Murray Miller did seem to get most of the plaudits from the Alloa fans, you know, despite Connor Salmon taking the SPFL team of the round star man with his hat-trick. Murray Miller looked pretty secure, pretty comfortable in the middle of the park on Saturday, and it's an early knock for Jordan White. He's holding his right knee. He looks very uncomfortable, but
looks like he's rolled an ankle actually for me, because he's given it a wee shuggle.
He's got to continue. Josh Sims gives the thumbs up to the dugout.
It is very dry. It's one of the worst times to play on an AstroTurf park, because it's these times you do get feet caught in the grass. It's much better when it rains just before the game. Even if we had sprinklers, I've seen Wraith do it. I don't think it works very well because it dries so quickly.
And it's an awkward one for Taggart to deal with, and Samuel latches onto it, finds Sims, put it in the box. Still bouncing about though for County, but dealt with well by Alloa. Johnson now dinks it in, good header from Stanger, and Hogarth off his line to collect it quickly.
It's going to be a big physical battle in there with Jordan White, isn't it? Stanger's going to be under pressure.
It's an interesting team lineup. I was thinking this before the game. I would be surprised to see Paul McLaren go into the middle of the park, and he's not. He's playing right wing back, and Scott Taggart will play on the left side of a back three and kind of the centre. So it's a wee kind of swap about. I think most Alloa fans were expecting Kevin Colley to come straight back in after his honeymoon and slot into right wing back, but it's the youngster McLaren that's been given the nod.
Yeah, but it does give us reinforcements on the bench, which is something we've not had for the last few games.
Yeah, strong bench with O'Donnell, Scugo, Colley and the kids as well.
Stronger than it was.
Yeah.
I have to say, Saif Kayam off the bench, I think he'll be another interesting addition. He should have scored again at Buckie.
He should have scored.
He's had cameos now in friendlies and now at Buckie. And everyone, I think he's been one-on-one with the keeper and just failed to beat.
he's got electrifying pace, and I think as long as he keeps that up, the chances will keep coming. We were speaking about it during the game, and kind of think it's maybe just getting that first one. He's young, he's excited, he's always very, very keen, but hopefully the nerves settle once the first goal finds the back of the net.
Certainly what Jazz says. You got a spare? No.
Been raided for team sheets in this press
He's
box.
an agent, so I'll keep him sweet. That's the same agent as Peter Grant.
Okay, there we go.
So you can put a name to whoever that guy is. Or sorry, a face to whoever that guy is. Not a clue who he is.
There's a free kick, and Ross McKeever's just getting a little talking to on the halfway line from Chris Graham, the referee. And Ross Kenty will look to get this ball forward. Plenty of tall options to hit. There we go, commentators.
He had me fooled as well with the dummy, to be fair.
Good press from Alloa though. Force County to go long. And into the hands of Hogarth.
I see it's an exciting battle at the top of this League Cup group.
Yeah, absolutely. It kind of comes down to tonight is a massive game for both sides. You know, they've probably got a disappointment each, us at home to East Fife and themselves away to Buckie Thistle. But it's all to play for tonight. As Josh Sims dances in field, it's a decent ball to Samuel. He takes a thin air swipe, but it's a great sliding challenge from Andy Graham.
It's the kind of thing that you don't want to see Andy Graham being engaged in a foot race. But he's extended himself perfectly just to block any danger.
He's still got the experience and the know-how to know where the ball's going, even if he's not got that half yard of pace to quite get there all the time. But good defending there from the skipper. Cross comes in, it's a low-driven one, and it's Salmon back doing the dirty work.
That's something you can say about the Alloa forwards. They're always willing to do a shift, do the hard work and defend from the front.
Yeah,
or at the back, as Salmon was.
That's it. I think that's what Brian Rice kind of highlighted in his post-match interview to you up at Buckie, that Connor Salmon does do so much of the dirty work, and it was nice to see him finally rewarded with his first hat-trick in 10 years.
12, I'm going to give him the
12.
4,000 days.
But some good finishes in that hat-trick. I think his second goal was probably the pick of the bunch, and he took it round the goalkeeper, slotted it home. But the first one was a neat finish as well. Give him the confidence. And like you say, nearly at that goal tally of last season. Hogarth goes long looking for Salmon, but intercepted before it can get there, and Murray Miller's got not much chance of winning that battle up against Tilson, but Alloa win back possession. There's Stanger. Decent ball forward. Salmon, not quite sure that's where he intended it to go, but still there. A bit late there from Church. It's promising again from George Stanger, comfortable on the kind of half turn, spraying the ball forward as opposed to just hoofing it whatever direction he's facing.
Yeah, I think the thing that has stuck out to me is from his distribution at the back. He loves a run.
Yeah,
I love a rampage in centre half. And
you've got that safety net when you're playing in a back three, that you can go forward a little bit and they can slot into a four. And he's definitely been given the freedom to go forward. I think Andy Graham's days of silky runs from box to box might be over. He might pass the reins over to his.
It's never too late.
He'll need the highlight reel for his contract extension next summer, so I'm sure he'll do it once. It's the ball out on the right hand side to Johnson. Josh Sims. Oh, it's an awkward one for Hogarth to deal with. It's clipped off the bar after a wee fingertip from the keeper. And nearly.
Sorry, keeping a well. I'm just trying to frantically fix what I can. The scoreboard and that, I was expecting Ross County in their home kit, but I should have expected them to throw a spanner in the works. Not a lot of time with website dying.
Ross County do get into the box. It's an awkward touch though from Olagibe. Yep.
No, sorry, I'm going to step in and this is I'm going like Ola Finjana or something like that. It's Ola Igbe. That's what I'm going with. That rolls off the tongue.
Yeah,
nice.
that works as well. On loan from Southampton. Kazim is, quite a good name to go for as well. But
exactly. Well, there you go. You can go.
It's an awkward one, and it's so nearly Dominic Samuel to getting his second goal this season, but he is flagged offside. There's a looping header back across the 6-yard box, and somehow he's missed it, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway. He is offside.
Worse miss than Warrior Makio. That's it. I've got that one early.
I'll tell you what, he's walking about the stand with the biggest smile on his face, laughing and joking with everyone. I don't think quite he's realised where he is yet. Someone better tell him.
You would enjoy it while it's hot like this. It's the depths of winter when you say, where am I? But to be fair, if he's in Canada, then
that's true.
Probably the same.
You could deal with it. But yep, it just goes back to kind of what we were saying at the start and even off camera as well, off air. Ross County do have one of the strangest and most interesting transfer policies in the Scottish, especially the top flight. You see a lot of merry-go-round football players in Scotland that just kind of bounce about the clubs, but you're looking at this Ross County team, and most of them applied their trade down south and come up right to the Highlands, and it's interesting. And a lot of the time it pays off. You look at the names that have gone and they've made money off of, and it's interesting.
But then there is times, obviously, they're stint in the Championship.
Yeah.
It didn't work. The guys they signed were no fit enough to play in the Premier League, and they got relegated down to the Championship, and they were a nightmare to play against. That Stuart Kettlewell's just doing the commentary for the BBC next door. He's been the bane of our Championship careers, because we always played well against Ross County, but they always seem to grind out a result.
And they always got their goals in the last 5 minutes
so
of games.
1-0
in the last minutes.
I mean, to be fair, they probably owed us some after they were the Scottish League Cup holders, so we put them out.
Yeah.
I've got an issue.
Josh Sims just time wasting already and not letting Alloa take the quick throw in. Church eventually does collect the ball and gets ready to take the throw, goes down the line, comes through to Salmon. Doesn't quite fall from his danger, does just hook it back into that area to no avail. Now we're putting the pressure on, but it's cleared forward. Samuel up against Andy Graham. Falls in favour of Josh Sims, who gives it back to his number 9. Danger over, deals with it, finds Miller. Alloa, if they can pick up this loose ball, might be able to hit the Staggies on the counter-attack. It is Paul McLaren, another opportunity for him to come forward. Cuts back and just calms the play down, keeps possession for the Wasps. Taggart goes long, Sam is the target, cleared though by Baldwin. Alloa continue to press hard, but not quite falling for him in the final third just yet.
Nope. So I can just turn myself down while
Again, Salmon leads the charge, and Baldwin confidently knocks it forward, but it's well won by Stanger, and King gets the second ball. Not quite coming down yet, but eventually will for Olaigbe. Now Purrington. Down the line to Jordan White. And he switches it over to Johnson. And Ross County moving the ball about well, but it's tenacious play from Miller that intercepts it, and now we go down the line for Connor Salmon. He's got Rodden in the middle. Salmon looks to just hold it up. Deals with one, wins the throw in, and he'll wait for reinforcements. Not quite comfortable on his left to hook it in, but does the job, wins the throw in. Now we'll gain some territory with the shy.
Okay, I'll just wind up the man who I've just gave some useless advice to on the chat. He's in. It's his own fault. That's fine.
Welcome to the stream. You've not missed too much yet. We've been waiting for you.
That's it. You can give me abuse by talk to in the bottom corner. You'll just stress me out. It's been a night for it.
Alloa just having a little bit more of possession. Yet to really test Jake Eastwood in the goal so far. Josh Sims. Out to Johnson. Johnson going forward, sees the ball.
I'd back Stanger.
Yeah.
Stanger's a quick one. When it's Andy Graham, that kind of mismatch I get worried about, but when I see Stanger I feel completely comfortable.
Miller's got a lot of space to run into, and now Daniel Church, can he find a body in the box?
The ball.
Yeah, looks for McKeever, he just kind of lets it run. That's an awkward touch as well from McKeever. There's definitely spaces for Alloa to hit on the counter-attack. Ross County do attack with pace, but they also attack with numbers. And if you can turn it over quite quickly, there is areas of space to exploit. It's a good switch out to Johnson. Most of the play seems to be coming down this right hand side from Johnson and Sims. And here is Sims. Ball comes in. Hogarth gets a hand to it. It's enough. Olaigbe continues the charge. Knocks it back to Consola. That's all you want from your keeper there. Just get a hand to it and help it on its way out of the danger zone for now. Still County move it about quick, making Alloa work.
I did look at the table though, and I said to myself, if I could pick results, realistic results, let's grab 2 draws. Let's take 2 penalty ones. It's certainly within our remit for scoring penalties. Some excellent ones. Maybe Andy Graham's was the best, but that would end us with 9 points, which has usually been a magic number in the group. But I suppose maybe crucially only a 3-goal difference.
Yeah.
And only top 3 go through from the group. So
that would be the thing that you'd be looking at.
Year.
It's very tight. It's still all to play for sure. And it'll be interesting to see how Dunfermline are shaping up as well when we go to East End Park on Saturday. That's good play from Olaigbe. Tossing and turning, dips it into the box.
Oh.
Josh Sims, he's been involved all throughout the first half, and he's goes the highest, knocked it past Jay Hogarth in goals, and Ross County have an early lead. The ex-Southampton man with the goal. There's tricky play from Olaigbe, and Sims needed no invitation to head that home.
Yeah, just using his advantages against the youngster. Dinks that ball into a beautiful area, and maybe didn't catch the best end of the highlight there, but heads it well past Hogarth for the open up. 18 minutes in. by mark out.
He was the player that's kind of been causing most of the problems throughout the first half. And quite expect if he was to score that it would be a header. That's a good ball from Church into Rodden. It's well read though from Purrington, and like you say, not quite executed to perfection. Rodden was just waiting on the line. Good though from Church, wins it back for Alloa. And it's important they don't let their heads drop, because they have started fairly strong. They've competed well in the midfield. They've been chasing a lot of balls with Ross County's tempo, but they're definitely well in this game.
I think Ross County have not shown much. Well, they've been comfortable so far. It's hard to gauge. I don't think anybody's got out of his second gear yet, and I suppose that's maybe a damning thing for us, that Ross County have been quite comfortable. But it means it brings Alloa back into the game as they try to flick it to King.
Piling the pressure on. You're just hoping one of those comes off. It will be Stanger up against White. Stanger wins the battle. McLaren and Miller do well to get it forward, but King is dispossessed and the referee pulls it back.
Wins the foul, so quick feet from King. Does the business, wins the foul, lets us move up the park. But Ross County back in numbers, so we'll see what Alloa can create.
Yeah, you're asking a lot for the strikers to kind of get in between two experienced defenders.
You see, forced all the way back to Hogarth as well, so I think maybe so far in the first two games we've maybe used too much long balls. I'd like to see us play more with it. As much as Connor Salmon is an effective front man, it's not, he holds the ball up and he challenges all the time, but heading is no predictable for him, is it?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the time in pre-season and in the Premier Sports Cup we've kind of missed out the midfield quite a lot, whereas I think when we do have the reintroduction of John Robertson, he's a player that just glues the whole team together, drives it from box to box, and he'll be a massive player in this system. I think it's a shame that he has missed the cup, but it's good that he'll be back for Dunfermline when the important stuff starts.
You say that, I hope he's just still on holiday.
Yeah, that is true.
He's a man who's picked up a fair few injuries, but maybe it's just because he's got to do some police work tonight.
Andy Graham brings it down, and Alloa can come forward once more. Taggart takes a little bit of a risk there, but he's confident in his own ability, and Alloa are still kind of dilly-dallying in their own box. Seem fairly comfortable. Kiever's up, wins the flick on well. Rodden just a wee bit too excited there. Decent idea. Church. Alloa win it back, and look at the space now for McKeever. I might fancy the effort, sees Eastwood off his line but can't get it down in time. Alloa's first real effort. There's a half chance. Sails over the bar.
Yeah, at least it's him being positive. There's times I think he's reticent to take the shot. That time he just doesn't get the right technique, maybe leaning a bit back, not getting over it. It is going to be water break time by the look of it.
Interesting. That's probably the first time we've seen that at Alloa, is a water break.
I remember it during the summer a few years ago, so not the first time, but certainly the first time we play in temperatures like this.
Yeah, it's absolutely roasting. You can see Josh Sims has been given a soaking wet towel that he's just draped over his head. It gives Brian Rice a chance to get like a mini team talk as well. It changes the dynamics of the game. It kind of makes it more like a basketball game in terms of 4 quarters instead of 2 halves. You can see both managers are right out there giving mini team talks, as well as all the subs are getting out to do mini drills and things like that. It does have a minor effect on how Alloa can approach the rest of this first half. I'm just looking down at Brian Rice barking his orders, and I can see that Paul McLaren's senior debut has not only taken the supporters by surprise, but also the kitman, because he's still not had his name printed on the back of his top.
They are on youth contract, or they were at least on youth contract, so their strips were brought up without names on the back.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that'll change soon if they're going to be what seems to be a young bench, and they're going to be used regularly. I mean, Paul McLaren was probably the one of the three that I know least about.
Yeah, he's certainly looked fairly confident so far.
Yeah, I think anybody could have been caught out the way it was against Ligby. We'll see, we'll go back to the goal kick as Alloa are happier to get back to it faster than Ross County. You would though, wouldn't you? 1-0
Absolutely.
up.
The other result in our group is East Fife 0, Buckie Thistle 1. So Buckie leading the Fifers, which is surprising. I didn't think they were, no disrespect, I didn't think they were up to that much. They were fairly, they competed well, but I didn't think there was that much quality up front that we had anything to worry about too much on Saturday.
Yeah, we took everything for Buckie on Saturday, because as much as possession, they had more possession.
Yeah.
Connor Salmon takes home a match ball, and I don't know if you noticed it, Kieran, on the highlights. You just saw their manager behind a wall that's like 2 yards behind the dugout. Well, he got in trouble for the referee for coaching from the sidelines while on an 8-match ban, so that's just
it's an awkward one, no takers in the box. Yeah, it was definitely a successful afternoon for Alloa, maybe not so much for Buckie. And now it's a chance for McLaren to drive forward. He's got some space, looks to immediately get it in the box. It's going to go right on top of Eastwood though.
Nice easy take.
Yeah, these opportunities you're looking for a wee bit more venom and accuracy in the cross. Not quite from McLaren that time. And now County come forward once more. Interesting dynamic on the right hand side with Callum Johnson, ex-Portsmouth, and Josh Sims. Southampton loyal, 10 years at Southampton. Bitter rivals now, partners in crime on the right hand side.
English mercenaries there, that's what it is.
Here is County once more with Purrington. Olaigbe up against McLaren, he gets the better of him once more. He's just got that turn of pace that he can stop the ball, and then within half a second he's a yard ahead of you.
Brilliant challenge there to Rob Sims though, happy with that.
The keeper loses out to Consola.
Just shows it far too much.
And that's good play there from County. And they get the ball sailing over the top there from Tilson. Oh, he slipped there from Scott Taggart, just invited the opportunity, but doesn't come to anything. It looks like he's tempted to play it short, does so. Trying to draw out the white shirts.
Brave man taking on Olaigbe.
Yeah, I think he just does just enough, and Alloa get off of one there.
It's interesting for the referee.
Yeah, I always thought it was immediately touch, you just have an uncontested.
Maybe one of these officials has been in his ear telling him. Would it be the first time we've met teams that, referees that don't know the rules?
Here is a league beat. Good ball into Samuel. Stands up the Alloa defenders. George Stanger doesn't quite get what he wants off of that, but corner kick. Salmon goes back to fulfill his defensive duties. And Ola Igbe take this on the far side. Takes it short again to Josh Sims, the goal scorer. Tilson back to Ola Igbe. Skips past Miller. Dinks it in with his left foot. Jordan White's waiting on it. Hogarth confidently gathers. And Alloa can hit them on the break. It's Bradley Rodden.
Could have bounced anywhere.
He looked like he was splitting those two county centre halves there. But like you say, it just bounced in favour of the visitors. But I'm
A
not
little head knock. I don't think that was too serious.
Yeah, kind of missed that when I was following the ball, but it looks like he's okay. Consola.
I think it might have been his goalkeeper coming out and smashing him. Just a glancing blow.
I think Rodden's getting a talking to as well. I'm not quite sure what for, but all is well. Another stoppage in this game. We'll get underway with the free kick for the visitors. Decent looking ball, White wins it well. Still bouncing about, nobody can get a touch on it. It's fallen in favour for White, and what a save from Hogarth. It was pinballing in the box. Jordan White in the half turn with a snapshot, and Jay Hogarth comes up big. Great save.
Succession of Alloa players struggling to get it away. Scott Taggart, I think, guilty, just needed to poke it away with that left foot. In the end, luckily we've got Jay Hogarth in goals.
Yeah, and we've not seen too much of Jay Hogarth in his opening first 3 games. Obviously saved the penalty against East Fife. Didn't really have much to do on Saturday against Bucky, so
a lot of routine work.
Yeah.
As an ear swipe by Samuel.
Can McKeever get to the second ball? It's good from Kinsolo, to be fair. Nips in front and starts the attack for County with Johnson. Skips inside, goes back to Tilson. Ball does go central now as they switch it out to the left. County just probing, looking for a way into the box. It's Sims down the line to Johnson. Good block though from Scott Taggart. They get a corner kick for their troubles. Corner taken short once more. Josh Sims to the back post. It's awkward for Salmon to deal with, but it's only as far as Tilson, who goes for the spectacular, much to the frustration of his manager. And again, it's directly a long ball from Alloa that's gained them some yards, but not much more than that. McLaren on the far side with the throw in. Become a bit bitty now ever since that water break. Both teams struggling to find much of a float.
Although, to be honest, I don't think it really started before that. Both teams maybe struggling in heat. It's always the period of the season I hated the most.
Yeah. And in a park, like you say, where it is so dry, it is quite hard for the game to be slick and flow well.
I think that Alloa will want to be grown into this. The sun obviously dips behind the stand for the second half, so that'll be a bit of a bonus. Sorry, is that a foul against us?
Yeah, Taggart just a wee bit over keen there. It was a shame because
yeah, we were looking good.
The counter was on. County get the free kick and kill any tempo that Alloa were generating. Sims down the right hand side. Good from Church though, doesn't give him any time to think about it.
I think so far in the first third, Sims has been the man for me, who's made the brightest impact on the game. He's consistently done it as well.
I mean, this is a player that's played in the Premier League for Southampton. He's been involved in a very, very well respected and well renowned academy down south. He's clearly got bags of quality. And I don't think Ross County have quite realised, it's only 3 games in, but they're not quite reached the heights of last season yet. But this is the highest ranked team in the Premier Sports Cup from last year. I think they were the only team in the top 6 not to be playing in Europe, just on the last couple of games. So this is no easy game for Alloa. This is the hardest game that we possibly could have drawn.
So I forgot if I've mentioned it as well. I did when we drew them. I thought it would maybe be okay because the losses last season. Obviously, Reagan Charles Cook, what an unbelievable player he was last season, and Hungbo as well. They're a nightmare to whoever they played against. And with those losses, I thought to myself, well, will they be able to replace it? So I thought it was maybe a good time to play them. So far, though, it just looks like they've replaced like for like quality.
Yeah, they seem to be. They've obviously kind of stuttered at the start of this group with a draw at Buckie, and it weren't all too convincing in their win over Dunfermline. They got over the line. Not the greatest of goals either, but more game time, finding their feet a little bit more. Certainly look fairly comfortable so far.
So I say well done to the Hardy Souls in that away stand. That's the Ross County support. I did refund a few tickets yesterday because trains were getting cancelled, too hot to run.
The country's in chaos.
That's it. Can he run with a little bit of snow? Can he run with a little bit of heat?
That's a good ball forward, and Adam King sees McLaren on the right hand side. He's just let it run too much, McLaren. Not quite aware of his bearings there. Gives County back possession. Frustrating. It's a couple of times that the midfield have got it on the half turn and it seems to be opening up. They've still got a bank of defence to deal with, but just struggling out wide to find any real kind of quality into the box.
I think it's going to take a bit of brilliance. I do have a lot of hopes held out for when Kevin Colley comes on. A player who's consistently done it in the big games.
And he is a player when you are looking for a bit of magic that never really fails to disappoint. And you can imagine he's probably the most likely out of him and Skugel anyway. Colley's missed the games, being on a honeymoon. Skugel's maybe carrying that slight knock, so you'd probably see Colley before you'd see Skugel.
Although I'm surprised that Skugel is out today as well. The rest of them at Buckie as a precaution. I think he wanted to play, but he was kept from the physio who's keeping him safe. Obviously a big player for us in the campaign to come.
Decent ball in, Eastwood spills it, he gets the benefit of the doubt from the goalkeeper.
Can he touch keeper these days, eh?
Yeah. Didn't come to much anyway. I think Salmon says there wasn't much in it.
I definitely don't think it was.
No,
Yeah,
the keeper's lunge jumped into him.
I think he's very lucky.
Yeah.
But that's the way it breaks sometime.
Goes long, Church up against White, does well, holds his own. Scott Taggart now with the throw in. On an unfamiliar side for Tags, but I won't really bother him too much. It's a good throw in. Alloa just can't get the break of the ball. Taggart goes again. It's another inviting ball forward, and I think that header took everyone by surprise from Salmon, but it's nipped in from McKeever,
penalty.
and the referee points to the spot. Ross McKeever, tenacious play, gets in front of Baldwin.
And you've got to say, well done, Ross McKeever, reading that well off it. I thought Connor Salmon's challenge would have been a free kick.
There's an
We'll just see it
unconventional
again.
touch from Salmon, but it put pressure on the Ross County defence, and it will be Connor Salmon he's holding the ball, he's clutching it, he's looking for his 4th goal of the season. Up against Jake Eastwood, the on-loan goalkeeper from Sheffield United. Connor Salmon.
So I'm not going to bother playing the goal music to you, unfortunately. If it comes. Jinxed it already.
And the referee he's distracted, the Irishman. He was just about to take the penalty. Here we go, the anticipation's building. It's Salmon against Eastwood. Connor Salmon, it's a poor penalty. It's easy for the goalkeeper. He smothers it. It's tame, it's a perfect height. Not quite like his penalty in the shootout against Bucky. And Alloa squander that opportunity.
And I think it's interesting that Connor Salmon took it. I think last year, at the end of last season, Scougall won a couple, and we had put in place the win it, you take it. So Scougall, right enough, took the penalties and he converted well. But I mean, it's not like they've not had practice. Some excellent penalties last week against East Fife.
You're saying excellent penalty against East Fife, which they were, but the only one that went in that was a little bit, was Salmon's. And the keeper got a hand to it. But I suppose if your striker, who's just scored a hat-trick, says he wants a penalty, it's hard to take it off him, but
perhaps
he won't be getting the next one. But yeah, you do look at that team and you don't see many, an out-and-out penalty taker.
No, I mean, we've used spoiled Alan Troughton, where if you win a penalty, it is guaranteed you score.
Yeah.
And that's nice.
You're probably
perfect from Alloa.
You're probably looking at like Scott Taggart to take the penalty. Yeah. Adam King. I would probably say Tags is the most comfortable penalty taker on the park. I mean, it doesn't say much of the strikers when your centre half's coming up to take it, but I don't think he's ever really let us down from the spot.
He's calling him a centre half now?
He
is today.
Okay.
Definitely a right back.
No, disappointing for Alloa, because that was a big opportunity to get back into this game. That's away from Josh Sims. And you said it was going to take something special to get a goal. Now you've just taken a bit of luck that we've just squandered. But not to worry, plenty of time. Don't want to batter the guy too much. There's still plenty of time. Church stinks it forward. Salmon does take it well. That's good from Salmon. Ambitious ball down the line, though.
I think Church maybe should have gambled more.
That ball looked away. Didn't look like it went, but not given. Ola Igbe puts it down to Samuel. He beats Graham in the foot race. Goes for the spectacular. Safe into the hands of Hogarth. And Alloa definitely having their best spell in the game. Moving it about well. There's the ball to Miller.
He's not been in the game so far. I'd like to see him have an impact. What's the Rangers beat last year?
Confident on the ball, clips it forward, goes down.
That's a worry.
You've jinxed it now. I think he's okay. I think he's holding his mouth, actually. I don't know if he's taking a hand or something.
A wayward arm flailing at him.
But Alloa still moving it about confidently. That's McKeever, won that penalty. Come forward once more. Church gets it on his left foot, whips it in. That's a ball into a fantastic area. None of the strikers are really on their toes or gambling.
And that is a foul.
Yeah,
definitely a wayward hand there from Tilson.
Yep, and it will be a yellow card for the number 22. Yeah. It's good from Church. That was a fantastic ball from Daniel Church. I don't think he could have placed it any better. Something he's probably been criticised a little bit, that final delivery, but that was pretty much spot on for the strikers. And now it's a chance for King to do the same. As we approach half-time, just a couple of minutes. Bucky Thistle have doubled their lead away to East Fife for for all that matters.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said that East Fife had scored earlier.
No, East Fife 0, Buckie Thistle 2.
They're bouncing back.
Agreed from Saturday. King's balls easily dealt with.
Just while we're talking about penalty takers, did Troughton manage to make it back in the team this week? He picked up a knock against us.
Not too sure actually. Be good to see him getting back in amongst the playing squad, but maybe not tonight if they're 2-0 down to Buckie Thistle at home.
As long as he's not playing us, that's fine.
No, still no Alan Troughton for East Fife, which is a shame, but here's Alloa coming forward more importantly. And it's Church with acres of space on the left hand side. He's got options in the middle. It's another inviting ball, but dealt with by Iacoviti. Dealt with not much challenge, but Alloa pressing.
Given away in the middle quite easily.
Here's Taggart, he's got it onto his favoured right foot. Another good ball. And Baldwin clears. Hard for a striker to do much with it. It's nice.
I'm glad that never came to anything because we're busy watching the replay of Church's ball and so cued it at a good time.
Andy Graham.
But there's a little bit of confidence from the Alloa. Since they won the penalty, you can see they've
it's probably one of those ones
settled themselves.
You don't want half time to come. I think Rodden might be offside.
Yeah, but I think
all the momentum's with the Wasps,
yeah,
despite missing the penalty. Good if they could. I don't think they're going to have enough time to carve open too many opportunities.
Can I make a... Have we moved to a 4? No, sorry, we haven't.
No, I think it's just...
King is just really high on the left and McLaren's sitting deep.
I think it's just the momentum shift.
Yeah.
All the Alloa players seem to be really pushing forward. And it is King out to Tags. He's getting ample space to drive forward. Gets on his right foot. Might fancy the effort. Taggart! Oh. Not too far away. Onto the roof of the net. It opened up for him. And he needed no invitation. Not too far away, like we say, from the equaliser.
Again, though, Alloa confident. Look at the numbers they're getting forward. And nice wee shimmy for Taggart to open the space for the shot. And a decent connection. And again, I've no cued it very well. So we've cut off the end at just a yard or two over.
Yeah, the referee will be checking his watch. There's been a couple of stoppages, but we can't be too far away from half time. And not at the ideal time for Alloa as they pile the pressure on the Premiership side. Salmon holds it up excellently, goes on the right. Oh, it doesn't quite come off.
Well done,
McKeever gets the break of the ball though, and thankfully for Malcolm Mackay's perspective, it trickles through to his goalkeeper. You can see him deep in discussion with Don Cowie of what has happened in this first half, because Alloa are piling the bodies forward. Jordan White wins that. And it's not quite a decent connection from King. And maybe County will get a chance to hit Alloa on the sucker punch. Here is Ola Igby. Poor though, and Andy Graham can deal with that. Ooh, it's an awkward one, and Rodden's going to chase that down all the way, but Eastwood deals with it. McKeever tries to keep it alive, but his head is a wee bit wayward. And the referee checks his watch a couple more times as the clock ticks down. Probably. Chris Graham does blow for half time. It is Alloa Athletic 0, Ross County 1. Josh Sims with the goal 18 minutes in, but ever since that it's been Alloa that have looked the stronger of the teams. It looked like they might draw themselves level when Connor Salmon stepped up from the penalty spot. It was comfortably saved in the end. A couple of half chances for either team, with Jordan White being denied by Jay Hogarth and Scott Taggart coming close for the Wasps. It is County who've edged the first half, but plenty positives for the Wasps to take into half time.
Yeah, I think, like you said, it ended at the wrong time for us. Decent end to the half after a bit of a struggle at the beginning when both teams were pretty poor. I'll leave you the highlights at half time and we'll see you soon.
Eastside 0, Bucky Thistle 2, Airdrie 0, St Mirren 0, Annan Athletic 0, Ayr United 0, Elgin 0, St Johnstone 1, Cove Rangers 1, Kelties Hearts 2.
Keeping us waiting, but we're waiting the ref as well, so the Alloa team are out nice and early. Brian Rice has said all he has to say, and they know what they need to do. I say that as Andy Graham goes for one last conversation with Brian Rice. He's obviously not quite done yet. What do you think Brian Rice has said to them at half time? Keep it going as we were. Take your time in front of goal.
I think it's difficult to pick up any bad points in that game. We've been, like I said, the game plan at the beginning, I think we were a bit reticent on the ball, we were growing, but we grew into it well. He'd probably just say, boys, just give me everything. I know he's very simple with how he speaks to the boys. He doesn't overcomplicate things, so as the cones are out, we missed that for last season. We've
we've missed
sports scientists to do the daft stuff at the beginning to warm up.
Well, I was actually speaking to somebody today who knows, is it Mike? The old
Zaleski.
Yeah. And apparently he was telling everybody last season and throughout the summer before he obviously departed the club how much he was excited for Ross County to come to the Rex because he was a massive County fan. So.
Well, he's maybe not so happy now.
He's obviously no longer with us, but there you go. His memory lives on with the wee warming up thingy, as we used to call it.
That's a technical term.
But Alloa are ready to kick-start this game. It's taken a couple of minutes, but here we are. And they immediately just hoof it back. They've won it back well already. As McLaren lunges in and gets a nutmeg for his troubles. And Baldwin goes forward looking for Jordan White, read well by Stanger. It's been a perfect pre-season in Premier Sports Cup for George Stanger. You'd never you never want injury on any player, but with Durnan and Howie out, he's managed to play pretty much every game.
Yeah, I always did think that he was going to be a favoured man after working with Brian Rice at Hamilton, and he's a young man, so it's something that we need. We needed new blood in the team. I didn't think we really got it last year under Barry Ferguson, that he wanted tried and tested ability.
There was that substitute for the visitors. Ben Purrington has gone off for George Harmon on the left-hand side. One that missed my viewpoint there, I must admit.
Who's interested in defenders, mate? That's it.
Here is Dominic Samuel looking for an opening. And Rodden will chase that down.
Don't know if I've done something to my controls. I seem to be very sensitive going left and right, so sorry if you feel like you're breaking your neck. It's not your it's not you, it's me. Just a wayward touchy, my controls has made it a bit more sensitive, but there we are, we're back to a bit too slow now.
Strong play there from McLaren, nips in front of Ollie Igbe. Henty still coming forward as Samuel finds Consola with space in the middle of the park. Look at ample room on the right hand side. Now driving into the box up against Church. But Johnson's cross is blocked out for a corner kick. Josh Sims to take it. I'm pretty sure they've taken almost every corner, maybe by the exception of one they've taken short. Looks like they're preparing for something similar. Maybe not. Ball does come in. It's a good one, and it's not quite the connection that Tilson was looking for, but he had a free header there.
I think maybe the young man, Paul McLaren, should have been marking Tilson. His opposite number. Oh wait, he's a 12, isn't he? Sorry.
Yeah.
Just a 2 and 2. That's it, as I swiftly try to stuff a cake in my mouth.
Cross comes in, dealt with. It's all the way to Cansolo. His shot actually nearly comes off for a very unorthodox assist, but Samuel can't quite get the connection on it.
Get Andy Graham beached on the ground. It went a lot worse.
Jay Hogarth with the goal kick. Looks on this to find Connor Salmon. Baldwin nearly takes his shirt off there. Referee's not interested.
Fair to him, I think it was a bit of both. Salmon likes a physical battle.
Yep, and Sims doesn't get any benefit from the referee either. Now it's Rodden's chance to drive it county. Does well, forced back to Miller. He goes back once more, and you can see the frustration from the manager. He wants the ball forward. And Eastwood just let that one drop.
The ball from Church is finding no one from Alloa. Everyone was at the front post, and he's hit it pretty much in the centre of the box.
Rodden White now in behind. Hogarth will take that. You can see Brian Rice when Rodden initially went back to Miller, you can see a slight drop of the head, and then when Miller went back even more to Daniel Church, you can see the arms are getting flared from the manager. It's clearly not what he wants his team to play like. He wants them to be positive, to go forward. There's a time and place for going back, but show a bit more bravery.
Yeah, I see that a lot. It's frustrating, and I think last year under Barry Ferguson we did it so much. I don't know what's happened over the summer. We seem to have lost that kind of confidence that we ended the season with. We always like to play the safe options, and it just slows our play down so much and makes us predictable and easy to defend against.
The keeper does come forward though. It's quite a lot on that ball. McLaren might. It looked like he might get it.
I think to myself, he's maybe looking like he's ailing.
Yep, he's coming off.
50 minutes in.
Chipper.
Kevin call it.
Yep, this is something we expected to see. We did expect Kevin to be the first substitute on. Paul McLaren, he's put in a good shift in his first senior start. He looks very, very tired, but he's put in ample effort. He gets a wee joke and laugh with his manager. A proud moment, a proud night for him, making his first senior start against Premiership opposition, and he makes way for Alloa's record appearance holder since World War II. So it's hard to argue with that.
There.
Yeah, absolutely. We've added about 300 or 400 games of experience onto the park.
Our substitution in 51 minutes. Leaving the field to play number 22, Paul McLaren. And these plays by number 7, Kevin Colley.
Kevin he'll be chomping at the bit to have got on. You can understand maybe don't start him straight away coming back off his honeymoon. Don't know what quite condition he's in, but he would have been so eager to start. But now he's got more or less a full second half to make an impression in this new role that he seemed to have found under Brian Rice as right wing back.
Listen, he's on his honeymoon. I'm sure he's have plenty of exercise on his honeymoon. That's that, I'm getting sacked.
You're lucky that goal never went in, and it was
that would be immortalised.
SPFL have clipped it forever.
That's it, big lad, he's back. We've missed him for the last 2 games. I think I've said a few times, I wasn't sure where the goals would come for this season. Obviously Salmon stepped up with a hat-trick at Bucky. Rodden's going to be a nice wild card. I don't know if McKeever's going to pick up many goals either. He certainly created a few for Henderson last year, especially. But we need the midfield to step up, and Kevin Colley's one of them that I think can pick up 5 to 10 goals as the season comes in.
You'd be looking for him to kind of edge up towards those double figures. It's something that he's maybe hit once or twice at Alloa, but you are looking for him to definitely contribute, like you say. As of yet, no striker that you'll look at and say that's 15 goals right there, 20 goals. I definitely think this window's far from done for an Alloa perspective. I don't think there's much more that needs done, but I expect a couple.
I suppose that is the position really that I'd like to see us strengthening. Maybe one more striker.
Yeah, I'd say we're fairly comfortable at the back. You've got Howie and Durnan sitting in the stands as well to come in.
Majid, the youngster, he's also a defender, so
yeah, I'm surprised he's not been involved in the Premier Sports Cup squads.
he picked up a knock in the friendly, sorry. So he's been missing because of that.
Rodden puts pressure on Baldwin. Alloa gain some ground with the throw in that Colley will take quickly. And King put the ball into the box to find Salmon. It doesn't quite come as far, and Sims awkward clearance.
I mean, 8 minutes into this half, you have to say that Alloa have started how they ended the second half. It's Ross County who are in their own half. Alloa like to shoot into that Clipmannon Road end. Their own fans behind the goal to suck it back into the net. We've seen some brilliant goals there. That's what we see one in this game.
There's Church with a throw in on the far side. County are going to make their second sub of the evening any minute now. Very easily dealt with by Eastwood once more. Colley goes down the line, excellent ball to Rodden. Well over Iacovitti.
Just couldn't control that, Rodden.
Yeah, it was an awkward one to control. He's probably looking for a little bit of luck as well.
You got to say well done there for Stanger.
Yes.
Great touch there and nice and strong, sealed out his man.
Looking very comfortable once again, George Stanger. Andy Graham looks forward, looks for Salmon. Alloa don't get break of the second ball. But it just keeps coming.
Yep.
From an Alloa perspective, they win it back again. Immediately looking forward. It's wayward though from the New Zealander, and it will be Hawula coming on.
Jordi Hawula, that's
Yep. He scored the winner on Saturday against Dunfermline. He'll be joined by Edwards Awora and also Randall. So it's going to be a triple change. Jordan White's off. The right back, Callum Johnson's off, as is the goal scorer Josh Sims. So a triple change from County. Malky Mackay not happy with the reaction in the second half.
We are back 5 subs, so
Yeah.
you can do it in 3 stoppages. I think that's the rule. So I think in fact they made one at half time as well, so
Yeah,
they've got
so
one left. So one spare if they can fit that in. It's always interesting to see how subs break up the game. Normally we see a bit of raggedness from the teams that make the subs. So hopefully that leads to an Alloa goal rather than a rejuvenated Ross County.
Taggart just gives it back to his goalkeeper
awkward,
awkwardly. Yeah, he does well to stop it going out from a goal kick. And the referee getting involved again. It's in the heart of the midfield. Strong play from Samuel.
That was Jim Goodwin. It went straight through the ref. We famously did that in a friendly against Dundee.
Yeah, and I was looking back at the old Alloa County games of the past. That was an excellent performance. A couple of games after that Dundee game, when Alloa did beat County 3-2, we were phenomenal that night. Just everything was coming off.
The Jack Ross effect.
Yeah, John Robertson scored an absolute peach. I was disappointed he wasn't back from his holiday tonight, because we could have replicated anything like that.
Surely a foul. Yeah, that's interesting.
Not given. Ola Igbe loses the foot race to George Stanger, and that's surely a foul. Just holds him down.
But I will say that Brian Rice is raging. He's having a strong word with the lino, as Alloa are forced 60 yards back down the park when they probably should have hit the foul a bit further up.
Do get that free kick that the goalkeeper will take. It's not really aimed at one of the bigger forwards, and that's wayward again and gifted back to Harmon, the left back. Neat wee touch, and Alloa getting the break of the ball. Hopefully start another attack, but we're asking a lot of Rodden and Salmon to constantly deal with these high balls up against the likes of Baldwin and Iacovitti.
It's an exotic pronunciation of Baldwin there, Kieran.
I know, yeah. It's not like Iacovitti that gets the tongue twisted, but
I'll let you off because you were listening to me, so that's fine. We all have those moments. See, I've got to train you up for your BBC interview. I'll not accept that.
I know. I'll be sent to the Dingwall every other Saturday if I pronounce any more like that.
I mean, it's got, apart from the historic night, historic temperatures and that, I think this might be a historic one for the stream, because it might be the last ever time that we stream in the UK and Ireland.
That could be true, yeah. Unless Scottish Cup, do they follow different rules? They're BBC, I suppose.
Possibly the Scottish Cup. You make a good point.
But you're banking on home draws, and you're banking on Alloa getting through some draws as well. So a lot of if, buts and maybes. Andy Graham back and dealing with it. It'd be nice to go out with a bang if Alloa could get a couple more goals, but it's a very quick step over from Ola Igbe. Ollie just takes him down. I don't really know if there's much you can do when you're met with the skill and pace that Colley's just been hit with.
Good shifted balance. Goes across Colley. There's a free kick in a decent area to deliver. And slightly awkward. It's not the normal position that you would get from a corner. Can maybe go for goal.
Yeah.
But
you can
not
see
a good delivery.
You can see what his manager thinks about that on the sideline. He also gets a talking to for the linesman.
Clip failed to write, apparently.
I think the free kick taker will be thankful of that. Stanger gives the option short, but it will go long. The manager's not happy, but well, we're going to have to get something to fall. Just failed in the last kind of 5-10 minutes since the subs come on to really get the game flowing again. But here's an opportunity. McKeever loses out though. Ollie looks to nip in front of Ola Igbe. Gets the ball that time, but the winger's back up on his feet straight away. Looking sprightly. Opportunity in the right hand side to come in. It's Samuel. Takes the heavy touch round Andy Graham. Drives it across goal. And they're claiming for a corner kick. It will be a goal kick. Good defending from Alloa in the end. And again, I think he wants to play it short every time, Jay Hogarth, but it's just not on, and nothing seems to be dropping with these long balls either. But they have got a throw in. Colley skips inside, switches it out to Taggart. He's driving forward, he's got options on his left, opts to go inside to Kevin Colley.
Again, you can see there Kevin Colley, he's always looking for it on the edge of the box, and he's happy to try something, trying to get a little triangle going there. Fortunately, it's just broken down with Church.
Yeah, shows far too much of it, and here's a real opportunity for County.
Chance to break.
3 players coming forward now, 4. Dominic Samuel into the box, looks to get it across to Hawula, but
I've got to commend the running there. Obviously, it's danger for this man back. He's quick enough, but Adam King bust a gut there to get back and give Alloa some numbers.
Been a frustrating evening for Dominic Samuel up top. He's had a couple of air swipes. He was lucky that his sitter was called offside, but it's not really coming off for him just yet. Got all the physical attributes anyway.
You're right. He's just slapped and whacked his knee off the table.
Ross County have an opportunity to make it double whammy for me with the corner kick. It comes in.
Overhit.
Overhit only as far as Cancelo though, and his effort is wayward, and County will make our final substitution of the evening. Jan Danda will come on.
This is an early one. Alloa will make a sub as well, and it's Connor Salmon who's coming off. It's Scudo. Yeah, put the wee man on instead.
Yeah, it's an interesting change. We've literally just said the long balls aren't coming off for Alloa, and they're clearly taking a different approach to it. Rodden and McKeever going to a more conventional top 2. Skugel in behind, hoping to pull something together in this Alloa midfield. Yandanda will come on. 50 appearances for Swansea City in the Premiership and Championship, so a decent option off the bench. One of Ross County's latest recruits. But we've just brought in Stephen Skugel and he's scored at Wembley.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Here's
Sheffield United hero. Let's hope he makes a big impact. His remaining time on the park.
switches on for Colley if Taggart can get it out there. Opts to go short. Graham just clips it over the County forward, and now Stanger. King tries to get it out to Colley. He will get it. Colley drives it across goal. McKeever gets in there first. Decent touch on McKeever. His ball just doesn't fall to Skugel. That was an awkward one for County to deal with, but they have done. Skugel's first involvement in the game. Gives it to Miller, who's dispossessed, and here's a chance for Yandanda just on the park. Gets to take the ball with him, but wins it back well off of Kevin Colley. Strong play. Here he is. Andy Graham just steps in front, dispossesses Hawula, and now clips it forward, looking for McKeever.
Look at that,
brilliant
ball.
McKeever across to Bradley Rodden. It's just a little bit too.
If it had the weight of Andy Graham's pass.
Rodden's pass is a poor one, but Church gets the break of the ball, and he again also forgets to make any connection to the ball, and that is frustrating. That was a great opportunity. Stanger does well, wins the free kick as well, sorry. A trailing arm from Danda.
You have to say, just on the balance of play in the second half, Alloa are the better team. It's Alloa who are creeping forward. They've not tested Eastwood just yet, but they're looking the most likely.
Yeah, the opportunities are arising. It's just that final ball. That one's cleared. And this time, Hawula does get the better of Andy Graham. Look at him bursting back to cover though. Danda up against Stanger. Goes with him. Still on for County. Ball comes across all the way through. Dominic Samuel's waiting on the edge of the box for it. doesn't get it, goes on the right, clipped in. Andy Graham gets the flick on. Taggart eventually clears from Harmon's cross. And once more, Graham gets his head on it. Now it's King to hook it forward. A lot of running for Rodden, but yet to have real reward. Oh, that's a late one from Kinsella.
I'm surprised the referee's let that run.
Yeah.
He just jumped right over the top of Murray Miller.
Led with his arm as well, but Colley's over experienced player. Dispossesses stand up, and now Alloa can break.
What a pass. Oh, I thought what a pass. Almost, it bobbled on the ground. Colley can take it down and we can start again.
That's an excellent ball from Colley. Calm as you like.
I've got to applaud as well that hold-up play by McKeever. Oh, and Google just the foot in, robbing him. Still keeps going. Alloa in possession.
And the tempo is quick, and Alloa are looking to just keep that up. McKeever's brought down off the ball, but Scoogle's driving forward. Scoogle on the left-hand side. Can Church get the good delivery in? Clips it into the box. It's cleared though by Iacovitti. Still on for Alloa, and Church's header's just going to header into the area with a bit of hope. Iacovitti eats up those crosses all day. Are looking for something a wee bit more accurate for one of the Alloa players waiting in the box.
Just to my eyes, I think if we had another striker, he'd probably be coming on for McKeever. You can see he's had a good shift today. He's kind of struggling out there. He was knocked over by a Ross County player.
You might see the wild card of Seth Kayam, I suppose, but it'd be a big game to throw the youngster
he is
into.
A youngster, that's what I always remember. But a big experienced striker that you know is going to get 10 to 15 goals, I'm going to say. An awkward one for Andy Graham, but he does enough.
If you could take the 60 minutes out of Connor Salmon's legs and bring Saturday's Connor Salmon on, that's what we're talking about.
I've got to be fair to him. I think in his chances, they were ones that you shouldn't miss. All he had to do was pass it into the back of the net, and to be fair to him, he was flawless.
Here's County looking for that second goal that would more than likely just kill off this game with 20 minutes to go. Samuel out to Danda. Now Harmon with the opportunity. That ball's going to run out for a goal kick.
You could say that is it Harmon? Sorry, yeah. Harmon's should have got to that. Danda had caught Kevin Colley in and played the pass to the byline. It's not the pace.
And it's the end of quarter 3, shall we say?
Yeah.
The second half's water break here in Alloa. It's only 24 degrees, referee.
That's it, just the average maximum temperature of a British summer.
East Fife, if interested in the other game in Group C, have brought it back to 2-2. Scott Shepherd, who scored against Alloa a week ago today, and Scott Mercer with the goals. Some other interesting results for teams across the divisions. Airdrie are beating St Mirren by a goal to nil. Kelty Hearts are winning 3-1 away to Cove Rangers.
How's your lip syncing? Some choice words coming from Malky Mackay.
And you think he would be. We've obviously, like we say, dropped points against Bucky. If they came here again and dropped points, you'd have to say it's a pretty disappointing campaign. You can see Brian Rice just trying to galvanise the troops. Seth Kayam will be coming on. He is stripped. He will get a lot longer than he got at Bucky. And it is an opportunity. Like we say, every time he's come on, he's had a chance. He had one in the pre-season friendly. He had one against Bucky. He had a half chance against East Fife last Tuesday with the header. Every game, he's had a shot on goal in his limited game time. He's in the areas. Just a wee bit more killer instinct required.
That's it, my money's on McKeever. Heard it here first. Off comes Rodden.
Yeah. I don't think he's quite ready to make that change yet. Otherwise, I wouldn't imagine the player if it is McKeever, and looking how shattered he is, I don't think he would walk to the centre circle to walk back off again straight away. But it will be imminent, the introduction of Seth Kayam. Alloa play it short. 20 or so minutes left of this game. McKeever's forward wins the header well, and now Rodden gets the second ball. Rodden in the box, he's got options in there, he goes for goal. Potentially a little bit selfish, there was players waiting in the box for him.
That's what I felt, wrong decision. I mean, when you're in that situation, it's hard to tell like where do you put the delivery. You need to be really quick on your thoughts. Maybe just hoped if he drove it at the keeper it would come at a lucky bounce. Didn't work out that way, as Eastwood did well at his front post.
There's very, very little room to gain anything over a goalkeeper of that size at such a tight angle. I think it was Murray Miller in particular that was frustrated. He was just lurking about the penalty spot. Stanger, excellent ball from Stanger. Been pretty much faultless this evening. Adam King. He also goes for the big switch. And Rodden's just caught in his heels a little bit. Didn't quite read what Kevin Colley's on his mind, but Andy Graham's out straight away. Deals with the Alloa once again. Alloa desperate for this equaliser, and it would be what they deserve, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe the water break's coming at a bad time for Alloa. That wee stoppage of the play taking the edge off the game.
Graham forward, looking to find Rodden in behind. He's got the pace.
Ooh.
And it looked like Baldwin led with his arm there. Of course, Rodden will complain. He'll complain and he'll be in the referee's ear about everything. Seems to be the way, but I think he's got a case for that one.
I think the only thing that you could go with the Ross County defender, he positioned himself well for the ball. But the Alloa forward, he's not going to win it from that angle. It's just an interesting use of the arm.
McKeever does well, finds Church. His cross is blocked though. Miller picks up the loose ball and Alloa win back possession again. It's all pressure coming from the black and gold. As Taggart delivers, it's a decent looking ball and it's clipped off the post. I'm not sure if McKeever's got a touch on it, but it's so close to that equaliser.
Chance.
All comes from Scott Taggart. Nearly scored a spectacular effort in the first half. It's hard to see if the forward does get a touch. I don't think he does. And we will see the introduction of Seth Kayam and Cammy O'Donnell for Bradley Rodden and Murray Miller.
So I've been proven wrong. But then again, just the best chance of the game falling to McKeever there. And so close to him, but well, if he did get a touch. From my look, I thought he did, but I'll need to see it a third time. Bit of slow motion. As it is, we've got the young legs on.
I suppose Seth is more of a direct replacement for what Rodden offers you in a front two, as opposed to McKeever, who kind of can win those headers and hold it up. I wouldn't imagine that's really part of Seth's game. He's more the legs.
Another one. There's been a few challenges for Ross County. That's Alloa. Some of the players are smaller. They're going right over the top and challenging for the ball. It's just giving away a cheap fill.
Substitution in the 73rd minute, leaving the field of play. Number 10, Bradley Rodden, being replaced by Cameron O'Donnell, number 20, and also Murray Miller being replaced by Seth Kayam.
Jay Hogarth tells Stanger to get forward. This ball's going long from the goalkeeper. McKeever's the target, dealt with by Baldwin. McKeever again making himself a nuisance. And Church involved in the play once more. His cross is dealt with though. And Church gets done there on the right hand side, and so does Skugel. That's excellent play there. He's still going. Gets it out to Danda. Danda gets on his right hand side, blocked though. That was some run there from Edwards Aurora. County's showing that they've still got a threat in this game to double their lead. It's Taggart. I'm not sure he quite meant that, but it's come off. And
drawn well for O'Donnell.
Yeah, he's left it behind. O'Donnell's just, you can see the frustration from the manager. He's just rushed that one there.
Sorry, Edwards Aurora with a run. That was
yeah.
I've got to go back to that. Just fantastic, leaving 3 or 4 bodies behind him, thinking and jiving left and right. Pleasure to watch that.
County just looking to dictate the game a little bit more. It's not gone the way that they wanted in the second half.
That's loose as well. Alloa throwing just by this centre half or centre line.
Good pressure from Seth there, but I don't think he really needed to do too much. It was poor touch. Alloa back with their foot on the ball. Stanger forward. He's asking a lot of Kayam.
Still puts enough pressure.
Yep, that's all we can ask for in that situation, because he's never going to win possession outright out of that, but wins the throw-in. Good work from Kayam. O'Donnell takes it, gives it back to Colley. You have to do well to get out of that, does so. Finds his skipper and he can now spread the play. Taggart comes forward once again. King to Colley. Back to Stanger. Now we're waiting for that moment to get the ball into the box. It's Taggart. It's wild from Scott Taggart. And the clock ticks down.
Here's that dribble again, just fantastic. Every point, another player trying to bring him down, can't even get near him. And not quite as good.
To be honest, you know, we've seen 2 Premier Sports Cup games now, both of which we've taken some sort of result out of. As it stands, we'll take nothing out of today, apart from the fact that I think this has probably been our best performance out of the 3.
Yeah, I suppose the disappointing thing, and that'll be no consolation to Brian Bryce.
No,
I know,
I know.
I'm completely thinking about his post-match interview, and he'll be disappointed. But he said it in the programme, it's not a performance that Alloa can be upset at. They've been good, and the only disappointment that they could have is that they haven't taken it into their own hands and brought themselves back into this game, because it could have happened, especially with the penalty in the first half. Go back to that, and the chances in the second half, more half chances, but they've been the better team.
I would say that's probably, when you do look at it with, you know, kind of really reality specs, we have played well, we have dominated parts of this game, but they have kind of been half chances. We've not carved open too many clear-cut chances.
Let's not be negative about
No. I still think we do lack a little bit of bite and killer edge up front. That's what I'm trying to get at, despite playing very well.
And again, the quality of the opposition, we need to remember, top 6 in the Premiership last year. We'll see how well they do this year.
Can Church nip in there? He can do it. Gets it back to Skugel. Here is Skugel. Looks to dink it over the goalkeeper. I think he was caught in between a cross and a shot. Maybe not in his mind, but definitely in the execution. Doesn't come off for Alloa.
I'd love to have seen him have a wee drive and try to draw another penalty. It was, I don't know, it's Jordi Hawula back there. That was, so whoever it was on that far side. It's not the most confident defending. Giving them back to Alloa very easily. That is another moment that I feel that we should have hurt Ross County. We've let them off the hook.
Goes long, Stanger up, good strong header. O'Donnell is going to get I think he's lucky.
No, I think he's done well. He just put, so when you see a player like that, he put his arm out, just make yourself wider so the guy can't come round you, and he did go over the top of him, so I think it is well won by O'Donnell. And again, I think a few times in these early games, he's just a slight boy, he's a young man. But he's shown that he wants to be battling more on that physical side, which I don't think we've seen previously from him.
Well, he's definitely, you can see ever so slightly, is starting to bulk up a lot more than what we've seen in previous years, and that's probably something that's somebody said in his ear or something he's been aware of. He doesn't shy away from it, that's for sure, as he does pick up the loose ball there. He doesn't quite come off though. And
well done.
Still on though for Alloa, win it back, clip it across goal. Falls in favour of County. And here's Alloa. Looks at the big switch, good there from Edwards Aora. He's got the pace on Taggart, gets the ball across goal, looking for Halula. He's met it well, but it's a safe and comfortable save for Hogarth in the end, and he gets the ball rolling quickly.
Yeah, see, he's done well to get it on target, just not enough to beat Hogarth, who comfortably holds.
Yeah, he's offside there. Taggart's will collect that with no pressure. 83 minutes on the clock. Colley. It's danger. Kayam's battling. I think the Ross County defender's got a little bit of a cheek to ask for a free kick after that. Yeah.
There again, great tackling from Adam King, fighting and digging in. Maybe not a part of his game that we associate so much with him. Scugo
it's good from Scugo. He delays the pass to Church, waits until he's got a bit more space. Ooh. It's an awkward one. It's McKeever, lays it up to Scugo, deflected. Oh, you don't know where it's going. It's going out for a corner, that's where it's going.
How did that get deflected that direction? I was sure it was going to go the other way and go into the back of the net. Again, Alloa. It's nice play. They have grown into this game. An opportunity. Just unfortunate as it comes off Chola, his knee. Will have the corner though.
Corner comes in deep.
It's I think it should be an Alloa. I would have said it was an Alloa corner, and it seemed to bobble up off shoulder. I'm sure Ross County will take their time over this.
Yeah, like you say, time is ticking. Chances will become few and far between.
On second look, right enough, it's a nice header from McKeever that bounces wide for a Ross County goal kick.
Here is Samuel, wins the flick on pretty well, but no takers further up for him.
Good head on.
And he wins the flick on as well, and here's Kayam. He's just not got the muscle to deal with the Ross County defender, and I think he's being a bit optimistic there, asking for a penalty, but quite right.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, it's moments like that he's good at. If he'd have broke through there, he'd have been one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He's shown that he can create those opportunities with those long balls over the top. And he's not afraid to put himself about either, because again, we'll go back to that size difference. Kayam's a slight boy, but it's causing all kinds of problems back there.
Extremely keen to do the hard work and get stuck in, but his pace could be a big asset for Alloa in League One. Like you say, we're not going to be coming up against defenders of this quality every week. We're not going to be coming up against players like Edward Aurora, who's been pretty electrifying since coming on as well. He's forced back though, trying to keep possession. Switch out to Harmon. Not quite deliver yet. Staggers are just moving a bit slicker now.
Just out of frame though, I'm looking at McKeever, you can see he's out on his feet.
Yeah.
Absolutely done in.
Hands on hip, shattered. Waiting for the moment, maybe. Trying to catch his breath before he's been told to get back and defend the corner by his manager.
yeah, another short one from Ross County.
Here he is.
Does he come off?
McKeever, can he find the pass that's going to open up this game? He looks over the top for Kayam. It's a head back to his goalkeeper. Kayam will chase it down all the way. And he's got absolutely no fear up against Boulder, and look at it, he's fairly giving him stick. He's not interested, in fair play to him.
It's good to have a word in his ear now.
I don't think he's done anything wrong.
He's trying to wind up. I love that. I was saying earlier, one of my favourite strikers in my time working at the football club, Greg Spence. He always loved to noise up defenders. Yeah. Just a really annoying guy.
And then you just leave it, and you don't engage, or you don't bite, and you just let them. It's Iacovitti that he's got in the head of, not Baldwin, but.
Yeah, still counts.
Still counts, yeah. And I'm all for it as well. That's a good ball in behind. It's awkward. It might fall in favour.
Somehow he's managed to make it through with the ball, but he just couldn't get the shot away.
McKeever wins the flick on. Kayam can't quite get in front of Baldwin. McKeever's taking a sore one there.
He's struggling.
Like you say, I think he's just absolutely spent. He's put so much into this game. Everything's going to feel a little bit sorer. Andy Graham goes to deck, comes out with the ball.
He's wanting Cammy to do something. Can he get the ball at his feet while he's on the ground?
88 and a bit minutes on the clock. Can't he just look to hold on to the final few minutes of the game? Decent ball over the top to Randall. He's tossing and turning with Skugel.
It's deft but well read by Taggart.
Alloa can't quite get their foot on it. Nears County looking for the 1-2. Should be
well defended by Taggart, even though he's giving that away. Getting off a dim here. I feel like the floodlights should be on. As if your stream's getting dark, it's no just you.
We'll be hoping it
just getting to that point of the summer where
Robert Wilson will be hoping it doesn't go to a penalty shootout.
Electricity prices these days, I tell you. 40 seconds of normal time remaining.
Potential of one more opportunity for either side. They're taking their time over the corner kick, as you would probably expect, but it doesn't make it any less frustrating for Alloa. Does come in, Iacovitti balloons it over the bar.
Trying to find the railway, just missed.
Hogarth has to take it quickly. Something has to come off from this goal kick. Alloa got to keep possession if they've got any chance. Should be a throw into the Wasps. It's Danger up to take it.
I love it, Brian Rice encouraging for the sidelines, pushing his men on. Just need that break of the ball. I don't know if it's going to come though.
Gammy looking to get in there and get a foot on it. Not quite. Skugel though making a nuisance of himself, and here is Stefan Skugel. He's got Kayam there. He's gone the wrong way. The option was on the left or on his own, but he's opted to go into the right where the bodies are. He's caught everybody off guard, but it's not come off.
I don't think the idea was that bad, because Kayam had the space on that. If you could have found a harder pass, he just kind of fluffed it into the ground. Again, you're going to look at that and say Alloa putting Ross County under the pressure, threatening them, but not making the keeper work.
Here's Taggart. Ball into the box, looking for McKeever, cleared. Colley trying to get in there first, does so. Still on, Kevin Colley. It's a weak cross, it's dealt with. It's hooked
Such
deep
a
into the
beautiful turn
Alloa
as well.
half. It's Danger, confident as ever, gets it onto his right foot. He can drive it forward now. Looks to find Kayam. Cleared by Iacovitti. Brought down by Hawula. And that's a big switch out. I don't think there's going to be many more opportunities in this game for Alloa. Hogarth's got to get it forward quickly. He's got to make it accurate as well.
It wasn't.
It's neither.
Even if you're aiming for McKeever though, how is he going to jump up to get that? He's spent at this point.
And County are coming forward now. It's Kinsella. And he's slipped through to Hawula and he's dragged it wide. And for a County perspective, it probably sums up their evening. It looks like they are going to get away from the Underdrill with 3 points, but it's been far from convincing from the Premiership side.
Alloa committing bodies, trying to gamble. Good run from Scott Taggart.
Bogarth forward. McKeever trying to make a nuisance of himself, wins the free kick, and this is last chance saloon for the Wasps. Andy Graham goes up, Stanger goes up.
Last chance saloon.
And King
forced back a yard.
Yep, King has the responsibility of putting in a ball that's going to challenge the likes of Iacovitti and Baldwin, who've dealt with most long balls comfortably all evening. It's into a decent area. It's cleared well though by County, and they'll get the second ball as well. Still a couple of players down. Can King salvage something? It's a poor first touch, which means he can't really get any real accuracy on the forward ball. What can Cammy do?
Take it down, get it to Church. Well,
Scoogle's got to go forward quickly. It's a hit and hope, and it'll be hoofed out. For a
Taggart, or you'd imagine somebody's over here for the long throw. Scott Taggart's certainly capable. He's standing on the halfway line, so maybe he's spent as well. It's like going to be Stanger who's going to try and launch it in. This is surely everybody getting in.
His dad was in the All Blacks, he'll be looking for something. A throw with the same amount of power as that. Ball comes in, wobbling about the 6-yard box. One more opportunity for Taggart.
Back post. Come on.
Taggart delivers. It's in there. It's cleared well. It's at a decent area. Scoogle fancies it. Brings it down well. Scoogle shot's blocked. And I think that might be it for the evening.
Maybe Ross County will just finish off. No, they're slowing the game down, just managing. Brilliant bit of skill.
He's been a handful since coming on and he's done extremely well. Gained some yards. It's a great
pass.
ball in behind for Hawula. Can he finish?
Yeah, this time.
Ross County hit Alloa on the sucker punch. It's a cruel end to the game for the Wasps. Maybe not quite what they deserved for their second half exploits. It will be the Premiership side that come away with the 3 points here at the Underdrill. They'll place themselves in a strong position in Group C. Alloa have been made to pay in the 95th minute.
Again, I've kind of cut that one badly. My apologies for that. It's just as the final whistle goes, the sucker punch does land.
It is the last touch of the game. Ross County's second goal. It was Josh Sims that opened the scoring in the first half. Connor Salmon missed a penalty. Alloa then had a handful of chances in the second half. Played really well in large spells of the game, but the last kick of the ball from Jordi Hawula gets his second goal in as many games for County in this League Cup group stage. It's defeat for the Wasps. It most definitely ends their Premier Sports Cup journey. They'll go to East End Park on Saturday to play Dunfermline. Plenty positives to take today, but Brian Rice will be disappointed that they couldn't get anything from it.
Again, I'm going to be happy about it though. We've performed well against good opposition, and that's, I suppose, the only thing you can ask. It's a part-time team against one of the most effective teams in the Premiership. But fell short. We get to be Kingmakers next week, so on Saturday. So
that's it. Dunfermline for the next 2 Saturdays away from home. Thank you very much for watching. You better quickly get out before the Underdrill descends into complete darkness. But thank you very much for joining me, Lewis, and good night.